Space whales? Nope, rather deal with devils. Chapter 38, Fiction by Azazyel. With a new day upon me, while I lay beside Mami in my bed after spending the night with Sona, I was reading through the bounty board in a newly added section. There is this monster we could deal with, Mami said with a cold frown as we read the description of a human mage who had gone mad with power, and had become some kind of NTR-obsessed freak who went around using hypnosis on humans who had no magical resistance for some fucked up stuff. Its reward was barebones as hell due to him not leaving a large mess for the supernatural groups to clean up, but more interesting was attached to his bounty was another bounty for a Mananangel who had immigrated here to Japan from the Philippines, and the monster was following the psycho mage and eating the bastard fetuses he left behind in the women he attacked. Mananangel, a female humanoid monster with no legs, and all its mobility comes from its large wings. It is utterly incapable of conceiving its own children, and so it uses its elongated proboscis-like tongue to ram into a pregnant woman's belly button and enter the fetus through the shared connection, and the tongue will pull out the child's heart to act as the core for a new Mananangel to be born as the mother Mananangel incubates it in her chest before dropping it during their flight for it make its own way in life. Weak to sunlight, garlic, and other items of purity. Highly weak to holy. It was a grim reminder of how utterly fucked up life was here in DXD as this was happening not but a city over. In my old world, news of dozens of pregnant women having their belly buttons ruptured and their child slurped out like a thick chunk of a Slurpee would be worldwide news. But here, such things were a literal daily occurrence. Alright, Mami, let's go kill them both, I said evenly as I had all but zero hesitation in ripping these two abominations apart. Mami and I got our stuff together, with Mami transforming into her magical girl outfit, and I threw on the dragon hide hoodie that Sarah Fall got me for helping her get her own 3 magical girls into her peerage. But as I was about to go tell Sona about heading off, a knocking rang out on my door, and I smiled wryly as Mash popped her head in. "Are you guys heading out?" she asked, and I had to think about it for a second before I said. "Yeah, we got a bounty to take care of. A weak mage who went insane, and a monster who is good at hiding but cannot fight. You don't have to worry about anything," I said wryly as Mash's face fell. I knew she wanted to help, but she didn't have Galahad in her soul anymore. She wasn't a demi-servant, she was just a human now. A human who could fight well, but she needed a decent weapon and a way to boost her physical capabilities back to what they were before. Maybe I can zip over to Normal Fate Stay Night and have Amiya make a copy. Or go to RWBY and have her unlock her aura and have a shield made there. I thought that beyond Captain America's shield, there were only a couple of shields that were worth Mash wielding them. "Mash, I will see what I can do to get you a shield, just sit tight and do some magical research and find out ways you can safely boost your body's natural parameters," I said as I considered if I could get my hands on something like the Greek shield Aegis or the Norse shield Svalin. But then it hit me. I could take Mash to the Shield Hero universe in those weird time loop timeline sections, and she could get one of those Naofumi's legendary shields. She would literally be perfect with that overpowered fucking shield. Not to mention, I could snag one of the other legendary or vassal weapons like the cane/staff to make my magic more powerful. I couldn't help but grin as I patted Mash on the head as I said happily, "Mash, I had a wonderful idea, you just wait. I already have a good idea of where we can get you a shield." Mash blinked before smiling and nodding, her eyes closing as she said happily, "I am very glad to hear that, Master. If there is anything I can do as your servant, please just tell me, though, I do want to help. Just be patient. I have a clear plan now," I said, happy at having a good plan for a power system being added to my own. "Mami, let's get going," I said, taking the busted blonde's hand into my own as I locked onto the magical signature of where we were going to teleport, and then my vision was filled with blue light as we teleported away onto this bounty mission.